Hello, my friends, and welcome to another devotional connection. I was reading something in preparations for another devotion that I'm going to do, and I came across a verse in the passage that I was reading, and I want to read it to you. It's First Peter chapter 4, and I'm was reading through the whole chapter because I want to do something on verse 12, but verse 15 caught me, and it caught me because of um, what's in this list. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we'll go forward. Verse 15, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 15 says, "If you suffer, it should not be as a murderer or thief or any other kind of criminal, or even as a meddler." Now, I had to go look up what kind of meddling this is, and it is exactly what we thought it would be. It is one who meddles in things alien to their calling, a busybody in other men's affairs. And it amazed me that this meddling is on the same list as murderers, thieves, and other kinds of criminals. It is considered on the same level. Now, why is this important? Because when I was reading in Revelation chapter 21, verse 8, a long time ago, I was amazed by what was on that list as well. So Revelation chapter 21, verse 8 talks about those that will suffer in the second death and be sent to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. So let me read that verse to you. It says, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, their place will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death." Of all the things on that list, what tops the list is the cowardly. I was stunned the first time I saw that. Even more so than the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, and the sexually immoral. What tops this, as one pastor put it, this ragtag group, is the cowardly. The cowards were mentioned first. And I was stumped by that. And I'll have to do something on that another time. Going back to our list in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 15, it lists murderers, thieves, any other kind of criminal. Don't suffer like they do. There is stuff that comes with that kind of sin. And then it says, or even as meddlers. Meddlers. People who are busybodies, constantly in somebody else's business, constantly in somebody else's face, constantly in the middle of stuff they have no business being in. They're just meddling. I find sometimes when you have lost what you think is control, you have lost your place, you don't know which way is up, you may have lost something that you thought you found life in, you find yourself alone or seemingly alone. People will start meddling in stuff that has nothing to do with them. A lot of times I don't get into my personal business and personal life because of meddlers. And I find out much later that folks have meddled in stuff that had nothing to do with them. And it's listed on a list with murderers, thieves, and any other kind of criminal. Folks, we have to remember that we're not in control of anything. And what we are offered to do, the one thing we are in control of, is giving control to God. And He tells us who we are, and He tells us where to go because we follow Him. Meddling in folks' business is not your place. And I know, because there is a time when I asked God to help me and allow me to help Him with one of my family members. And His response to me was, "You're in my way." I was dumbfounded by that. But God, I'm just trying to help. You're in my way. I didn't ask you to help. I didn't ask you to go over there. I didn't ask you to get involved. You're in my way. Sometimes we have the best of intentions. But if God did not direct us to go that way, then we're meddling. If God did not direct us to open our mouths, then we're meddling. If God did not direct us to provide the moral compass. I'll say that nicely. We're meddling. And we have to stop meddling in things that God didn't ask us to get involved with, that God didn't ask us to mess with. God has no problem guiding us where he wants us to go. We have a problem following. And sometimes we go off on the deep end. And it just may not be for you. It might be for somebody else. But maybe it's just not for you. I read this verse and it just stumped me that meddlers was on this list. And we ought to take a look at that and make sure we aren't involved in any of the activities that are in verse 15. Talk to you again soon.